gotta do what you don't want to do in order to get where you want to go. I try to tell y'all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Jake Willie Silly, man. AKA Mr. Take It Easy. But you end up like easy. But make sure y'all follow my Instagram and Twitch in the description down below. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay in the description down below. Like I said, your boy Jay is a Twitch streamer. You know what I mean? So for all my YouTube followers, all my YouTube subscribers, whatever you want to call yourself, you know what I mean? If you are not subscribed to the Twitch, if you do not follow the Twitch, link is in the description down below, as well as all my other social media links, you know what I'm saying? But we got the game that turned the bust into a superstar. You know what I mean? Into a star, actually. You know, and I feel like when it comes to Bryce Young, because I seen the thumbnail, so it's obviously about Bryce Young. Bryce Young, I don't feel like was a bust. I just feel like Bryce Young got drafted to a team that just didn't build around him. Honestly. You know what I mean? The Carolina Panthers actually, you know, in my opinion, actually had a good draft. You know, I feel like, honestly, I'm not just saying this, bro, because my team is the New York Giants, but I honestly feel like we had the best draft. Like, and I feel like we had the best draft. I'm gonna just keep it real with you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we filled every place, every need, in my opinion, bro. I feel like we had the best draft, but Carolina Panthers definitely had a good draft. I'm gonna keep it real with you. And I'm excited to see how Bryce Young, you know what I'm saying, Bryce Young elevates his game. You know what I mean? Honestly, but I don't think he was a bust. I think like he was just like, I feel like if Bryce Young would have got, I don't feel like CJ Stroud like better than Bryce Young. I'm gonna keep it real. Like it should have showed this season like CJ Stroud not better than Bryce Young. CJ Stroud was just drafted to a better team. The Carolina Panthers didn't give this man nothing to work with. Terrible O-line, terrible wide receiver core. You know your wide receiver core when Adam Thielen is your wide receiver number one. You know what I mean? You know that. When your wide receiver number one is 35, 36 years old, however old Adam Thielen is, when your when you're freaking, like when Adam Thielen when Adam Thielen is your number one wide receiver, that's a problem. That is a problem. But I feel like Bryce Young will be a good quarterback, bro, if he get the pieces required. You got to take, like front office, you got a job just like the players got a job to do. You got a job to do. You can't expect the player to do good when you're not taking care of them. You draft a star, like, I don't know why front office act like they don't got a job to do. You got a job to do, bro. It's a team sport. Build around your QB, jackass. Niggas just sit in the office and drink coffee all day? You know what I'm saying? Build around your QB. You know what I'm saying?
What if the most important...
Bro, you had Xavier, but I feel like he's going to do good with the wide receiver that y'all... Xavier, bro, Xavier Legette, he was good, but I feel like Adam Thielen was in wide receiver number one. You know what I'm saying? But Xavier Legette pairing with the wide receiver that y'all drafted from Arizona, that's going to be a good target. You know what I mean? Honestly. Everybody has to do their part. That's what people don't understand. So it's like Bryce Young running for his life danger every play and not having no targets. You know, what you going to do? That's how I looked with, that's how I looked with Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes looked terrible in the Super Bowl. He looked terrible, but you start looking at the little minor things. This man O-line wasn't blocking to save his life. His wide receivers was not getting open. You're so limited as a QB. If your wide receiver's not getting open and your O-line is not blocking, what can Pat Mahomes do? Throw it to God? You know what I mean? What can he do? They were getting torched all game. Everybody has to do their job. O-line, wide receivers, running back, quarterback, front office. Everybody has to do their job.
Important moment of your career, the one that defines you, came during a loss.
Final score 30-27, and the Panthers have pushed this 9-1 Kansas City team to the brink.
Well, on one Sunday afternoon in Charlotte, against the best team in football, that's exactly what happened to Bryce Young. He showed up, not just to play, but to prove that.
Look at his O-line, y'all. Look at his O-line.
Exactly what happened to Bryce.
Look at this, y'all. Look at this.
He showed up.
One,
not just
two.
to play.
That boy got 2 seconds in the pocket.
That he could lead. That his story wasn't over. This is how one game changed everything.
I love that song. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
So I've got a question. If you were seriously injured, do you know what your case could be worth?
Oh, God. I'm trying to listen to Bryce Young. Morgan. I'm not trying to listen about no Morgan. F Morgan.
If you've been seriously injured,
F Morgan, nigga.
were not super high. They were just to be competitive. Bryce Young, the #1 overall pick in 2023, was entering his second
Hold on,
season.
y'all. I got to do thumbnail time.
Bryce Young, the
That's a
#1
good thumbnail
overall
right
pick
there.
in 2023, was entering his second season. The
That was a
team
good
had a new
thumbnail.
coach, Dave Canales, and hope was in the air.
I don't care about what we can't do. What can we do? Who are these players that we have, and how are we going to maximize those strengths on a daily basis? We're looking for championship moments, championship days, and that's got to be a full-on commitment every single time we walk in here.
Then came the very first play of the very first game of the season.
Oh yeah, J.C. Horn. They just signed J.C. Horn. You know what I'm saying? To a what? Did y'all sign J.C. Horn to a max contract? I mean, he's definitely worth that. I thought J.C. Horn was finna. I thank y'all for Brian Burns. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thank y'all for him for sure. You know what I mean? Brian Burns. I couldn't believe y'all gave up Brian Burns to us. Why did y'all give up Brian Burns to us? You know what I mean? Can y'all tell me that? You know what I mean? Why did y'all give up Brian Burns, Panther fans? Like, please tell me. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? He's definitely been great for us for sure. I don't understand why they gave up Brian Burns for us. I don't understand that.
Of the very first game of the season.
And Young is throwing on first down. To the ground, ruled an interception.
Yeah, that was a bad throw. That was a
All
bad
that
throw
short-lived
by
hope
Young.
for the season instantly dissipated. In New Orleans, the Panthers were dismantled by the Saints, 10-47. Young looked overwhelmed. The offense sputtered. The critics started critiquing.
He was hemorrhaging confidence today. He played so poorly, and it can't be forgotten that the Carolina Panthers gave up Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, a 2023 top 10 round 1 pick, a 2023 round 2 pick, a 2025.
I mean, dang, bro, you gonna get a man some time though? Golly. You know what I mean? Can you get a man some freaking time, bro? You know what I mean? Man got one bad game, bro. Here you go, critics. Oh my God. Like, dang, but I swear, bro, they act like nobody can have a bad game, bro. Can't stand these social media niggas, bro. I can't stand that jump, bro. Dang, bro, got one bad game. You already finna down a nigga.
2 pick.
Everybody got a bad game, bro.
Drafted Bryce Young over CJ Stroud.
And this the nigga right here that's talking that couldn't even do what he do. It be the niggas that can't even do what Bryce Young can do. Stay talking, bro.
A 2 pick, a 2025 round 2 pick, and then drafted Bryce Young over CJ Stroud.
Week 2 brought the Chargers to Charlotte. Home opener. A chance to bounce back, right? But the result? Worse. A 3-26 loss.
Dobbins trying to get to the edge. He's got a blocker. He's got
With J.K. Dobbins.
Inside the 25-20. Did the sprints help? Oh, boy. He somersets into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. What's the slogan of the Panthers? Keep pounding. The Chargers took their advice. 223 yards rushing.
The Panthers couldn't move the ball. Young struggled to find rhythm. And after just 2 weeks, Canales made the call.
I'm sure you've all heard by now our decision to play Andy Dalton as we go into Las Vegas to play the.
Saying, dang, you give up on him like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You give up on him. I wouldn't want to be a part of that organization. It's like, dang, bro, you gave up on him after 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Who the freak would want to play for a coach like that? Nah, I mean, you don't even get this man time to have confidence. Look who you got on your offense, bro. You don't have one Pro Bowler. You don't have one All-Pro at all. You know what I mean? You expect this man to do good with trash? I wouldn't want to play with a coach like that. You know what I mean? Honestly, I won't expect that. I won't like that. You said, you know, he benched them to learn behind a vet. I mean, what can I learn from Andy Dalton? I mean, I get it. Andy Dalton been in the league a long time, but you know, for me, I like learning from people who did something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to learn from somebody who, he been in the league, but I want to learn from somebody that did. Like, I'll learn from Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? A Russell Wilson type. You know what I mean? Andy Dalton's still a veteran, though, so knowledge comes in various ways. So I'll listen to Andy Dalton, especially if you're a rookie, you know what I'm saying? Honestly. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to take heed and wisdom to what Andy Dalton's saying. But really, it's like, how can I listen to somebody that I feel like I'm better than? You know what I'm saying? Like how can I, you know what I'm saying, listen to somebody I know I'm better than? I know I'm better than this nigga. You feel me? I mean, he ain't really show. But it's like deep down inside, it's like, you know, me getting wisdom from like a freaking Drew Brees, me getting wisdom from them type of cats that, you know, that did something, that know what it takes to win championships. You know what I'm saying?
Raiders sitting Bryce down here.
Andy Dalton would take over. Bryce Young.
But benching him and playing behind a veteran, I mean, you're a rookie, bro. So it's Andy Dalton been in the league for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, You feel me? So just wisdom is just good in any shape or form. No matter who it's coming from, wisdom is good because you don't know everything about the NFL. So Andy Dalton can teach you some things because bro's been in the league for a long time. But I'm just talking about the winning aspect of the game. You know what I mean? Teach me, you know, how to maneuver in the NFL. But when it comes to winning, when it comes to being a championship type of quarterback, I can't talk to Andy Dalton about that. I can't talk to Jameis Winston about that. You know, when it comes to that type of aspect, I got to talk to Russell Wilson about that. I got to talk to Drew Brees about it. I got to talk to Tom Brady about that because they know what it takes to win a championship. They know what it takes to get to that type of level that I'm trying to get. You know, Andy Dalton doesn't know what it takes. You know what I mean? Honestly, to get to that type of level where I'm trying to get at. To be the best, he don't know what it takes.
And just like that, the whispers would come back. Was he even the right pick? Did Carolina make a mistake?
Will Bryce Young go down as the worst #1 draft pick ever?
Possibly.
Look at him, possibly.
That great kid. When he was picked #1 overall, I didn't hear a lot of people poo-pooing that, to be fair to him. But it's been an unmitigated disaster.
But sometimes falling flat is
Stephen
part
A.
of the
Smith.
process. Andy Dalton's introduction brought a glimmer of hope.
I swear Stephen A. Smith just
away game against the Las Vegas
never
Raiders,
be right for
Dalton
real.
showcased his experience and poise.
Look at that one timeout left in their back pocket. Dalton taking a shot to the end zone. It is caught. Adam Thielen, magnificent pass from Dalton.
He threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the Panthers to a 36-22 victory.
Andy Dalton delivers with 300-plus yards and 3 touchdowns, and Dave Canales gets his first win.
This win marked Carolina's first of the season and suggested a potential turnaround. However, the momentum was short-lived. Over the next few weeks, Dalton's veteran savvy couldn't mask the team's deeper problems.
Yeah.
The Panthers were going to lose 3 straight. Unfortunately, the situation took a dramatic turn on October 22nd, 2024.
Also breaking tonight, former Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton was in a car crash. This all happened in Charlotte, where Dalton is now playing with the Carolina Panthers. The team says Dalton was traveling with his wife, 3 children, and dog. A Panthers spokesperson says Dalton is being evaluated by the team's medical personnel.
Thankfully, everyone was okay. But Dalton injured his thumb on his throwing hand, rendering him unavailable for the upcoming game.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, it just be, and like I say, y'all, I'm not saying that God is the reason why, you know, Andy Dalton is in the winning the crash. I'm not saying that. But all I'm saying is, bro, God will test your faith, bro. Especially if you're a believer in Christ. I don't know if Bryce Young is. I don't know if he's a man of God. You know what I mean? But if you're a man of God, bro, it's like, God will test you in your lowest moments. God will test you in your highest moments. You know what I mean? Honestly. You feel me? Just to see if you, every aspect of life, bro. You know what I mean? It's just, God is everywhere, bro. He's everywhere in everything. You know what I mean? He's everywhere in everything. So, you know, I just, you know, hey.
Against the Denver
I mean, you know, like I said, it's a whole lot of people that talk about God and don't live the way God says to live. You know what I mean? I feel like that's one thing that's popular for a lot of people in sports. Thank Jesus, thank God. You know what I mean? That's popular. You know what I mean? Honestly, you feel me? Like I said, I just don't know. If he is a man of God, you know what I'm saying? I can say, but you know, that's one thing I've realized though. You know what I mean? When it comes to sports and when it comes to just everybody, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to thank God, you know what I'm saying? But a whole lot of people that thank God but don't really live for God. It's a whole lot of people that speak about God. It's a whole lot of people that speak about Jesus but don't live, you know what I mean, the way Jesus say live. You know what I mean? You can, you know, say that all day, but if you ain't living how he say live, then you're not really a man of God. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Broncos.
But if he, like I said, I can't never say nothing about Bryce Young, you know what I mean, or CJ Stroud, you feel me? Like, you know, They probably is man of God, but if they are, then, you know, you being with God, you're just gonna go through certain things for sure.
First of all, I'm sure you've heard. Andy
I just feel like, you know, and that's one thing that I had to speak on. I just feel like that's very, and I've been wanting to address this. I just feel like this is very popular for people to say. Not saying no specific people, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like it's very just popular for people to say. I mean, oh yeah, I gotta thank Jesus, I gotta thank God to look good in front of people. I don't feel like they actually, you know, in their heart care about, like, you know, Jesus care about God. It's just something popular to say. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know.
yesterday with his family, with JJ and the kids. So Bryce will be playing this week for us. And we'll
I just feel like if you're going to thank God, if you going to portray to be a man of God, live the way, you know what I'm saying?
With Dalton sidelined,
God say live.
Suddenly the spotlight swung back to Bryce Young. The Panthers, holding a 1-6 record, were desperate for a spark. However, Young's return to the starting lineup was met with skepticism, given his earlier performances. Yet, as they always say, adversity often breeds opportunity.
Week 8 in the NFL on the horizon. Broncos and Panthers from Empower Field at Mile High.
Just look at his team.
Facing the Denver Broncos at Denver, Young demonstrated growth and resilience. Although the Panthers fell 28-14, Young showed poise.
Look at his team, bro.
His throws were crisper. His reads were faster. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't the same quarterback we saw in September either. He kept growing, kept learning. 1 win, 2 wins, and then came the game that changed.
Hey, man. This one I knew that Daniel Jones had to get the freak off my team. This one I knew. This game right here, y'all, this one I knew bro had to get the freak off my team. Y'all, we lost to the Panthers because of this nigga. I knew this nigga. He had to get the freak off my team, chat. I was like, yeah, bro gotta go. Bro gotta go, bro. You gotta get the freak off my team. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm telling y'all, we were so terrible because of that nigga. That nigga was so trash, y'all. You don't understand how bad Daniel Jones was, bro. You know what I'm saying? That man was terrible. I've never seen a quarterback as bad as Daniel Jones ever in my life. And I'm not just saying that because, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just trying to say that because bro was on my team. I'm saying that because bro was actually legit terrible.
Changed literally everything. Week 12, home game. Panthers versus Chiefs.
2 straight wins for the Panthers, now facing the 2-time Super Bowl.
Bro was legit terrible.
Kansas City Chiefs, a measuring test to see how far.
My man, y'all didn't smack nobody. What the frick is you talking about, Panthers? Like, Panthers, bro, hey, bro, Panther, bro, you the Panthers, bro. Like, come on, bro. Come on, Panthers, bro. Let's not do this. Nah, I mean, Panthers, come on. Come on, gang. You know what I mean? We serious? Panthers, we serious? You know what I'm saying? Come on now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do this.
This Panther team has come from early in the season.
Right, we had a quarterback from Duke.
9-1. Defending Super Bowl champs.
Bryce Young was better than
Spagnuolo's nightmare-inducing defense. Despite on a 2-game win streak, nobody really gave Carolina a chance. But from the opening snap, Bryce Young, he was ready.
Young on the give. No, the fake.
Yeah, that was a beautiful throw. That was on Trent McDuffie, too. On the all-pro cornerback. That was a risky pass, boy.
He went 26 for 34, 331 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He matched Mahomes throw for throw, drive for drive. He even led 2 fourth-quarter drives to tie the game.
Carolina, you might go with your power and Chuba.
Hubbard pounds it in there. Touchdown, Panthers.
You hear the stadium?
Oh, like, it's awesome.
Like, when have we heard this? It's been a while.
He changed protections, adjusted to blitzes, threw on the run, and showed a full command of the offense. Yes, the Panthers lost 30-27 on the last-second field goal, but what happened that day was bigger than just a win or a loss. That was the moment Bryce Young arrived.
Final score, 30-27, and the Panthers have pushed this 9-1 Kansas City team to the brink.
After that game, literally everything changed. The energy in the locker room is shifted.
What's different about Bryce now?
We all know that it's confident. His confidence is the way I think he's starting to figure out where he like to be in the pocket, where he want to be, what he sees. He just, he did the work and he's benefited.
Coach Canales gave Young more control at the line, more RPOs, more bootlegs, more of what made him great at Alabama. And it worked. In his final 8 games, he threw for 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, over a 70% completion rate, and had a top 5 passer rating in the NFL during that stretch. I mean, it's not bad. And he wasn't just getting better. He was making the team better. The offensive line looked more confident. Players like Adam Thielen, Chuba Hubbard, and Xavier started making plays. Even the defense fed off his energy. Coming off his performance against the Chiefs, Young approached the remainder of the season with renewed confidence, and it was obvious.
The Panthers get ready for the Arizona Cardinals in the midst of a playoff hunt. They are a game out of first place. Carolina trying to snap a 4-game losing streak and looking to end its home portion of its schedule with a W.
In Week 16, the Panthers faced the Arizona Cardinals at home. The game extended into overtime where Young orchestrated a game-winning drive, culminating in a touchdown that secured a 36-30 victory.
Hubbard to the Hubbard, dancing into the end zone, and a Panthers victory with a touchdown in overtime.
This win highlighted Young's growing confidence and ability to perform under pressure. The season would end with a dramatic Week 18 matchup against the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Falcons were fighting for playoff potential, and the Panthers, they were fighting for pride.
3rd and 3, lofts it, snagged by Thielen. Adam Thielen.
Young led the Panthers to a 44-38 victory, showcasing his resilience and cementing his role as the team's leader moving forward.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Falcons fans swear they got, hey, bro, we're gonna see how Peanuts perform, though. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how Peanuts Jr. perform. You can't tell the Falcons fans nothing now. You know what I mean? You can't tell them nothing now, chat. You know what I mean? Can't tell them nothing now. You feel me? Them boys thought they had a good draft. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we had a good draft. Falcons fans is going to be Falcons. Dirty Birds is going to be a dirty bird. That's just what the Falcons are going to be. Falcons never going to be good. It's like, it's just them, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't going to lie. You know, I don't get it. You said what made me hate the Falcons? Because they talk. I don't like teams that talk like they be doing something. Like, talk about my Giants. My Giants made the playoffs in 2022. The last time y'all made the playoffs was 8. You ain't made the playoffs in 8 years. I don't like teams that talk, you know what I'm saying, like they be doing something and you don't do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it pisses me off. That it makes me cringe, and it's like you like when they beat us last year, bro. We had Drew Lock. We didn't have no quarterback, and the thing is, they couldn't even score. Look, they couldn't even score in our defense. Them boys had like 4 field goals, 2 pick sixes. Them niggas suck. They just talk like they just big bad boy. I'm like, bro, the quarterback that owns y'all, we literally beat him 2 times in the Super Bowl. Not only did Tom Brady give y'all the most embarrassing loss in NFL history, he came over to your division smacking y'all. He came over to your division smacking y'all in the mouth. You know what I mean? Why is like Falcons fans, what is Falcons? I saw the other days, I bash every day, I'm trying to get late. What? Y'all know for Gunna and Lil Baby. You know, never speak again. You know, in the latest best. That's what y'all know for. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know for that. Music. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't known for the football. Y'all not known for sports. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better stick to style. Stick to style and stick to music. That's what y'all known for. Outcast.
Perfect
moment, you know what I mean?
Comeback campaign. A walk-off win on the road against a bitter rival with every bit of poise and brilliance the team envisioned when drafting him first overall. Will be on building offensive line and the 2024 season, those challenges unveil the potential of a quarterback to transform skepticism into belief and adversity.
I live in Georgia. I mean, bro, you acting like I'm from Georgia. I don't get it. I don't get why, like, bro, I'm not even from here. I can live anywhere the freak I want to live. I hate when niggas be saying, I can't believe Jay is a Falcons, you know, I don't like the Falcons. Bro, I can live with a freak I want to live. I'm not from here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I'm not going to speak bad about their state. They have a beautiful state for sure. I love Georgia. When it comes to the states, I love the state, but guess what? I don't like the people. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I love the state. Beautiful state. You know what I mean? Sweet state. It's very sweet down here. It's very beautiful. You know what I mean? Very beautiful. You know what I mean? I love it. You know what I mean? But their teams are trash. Braves trash. Georgia trash. Falcons trash. They just Hawks trash. They just garbage. They just trash. You know what I mean? The best music in the world will come from Atlanta. I can't keep it real with you. But that's what they're good at, music. They're good at style. They're good at stuff like that. Like lemon pepper wings and hot wings and, you know, some fries and ranch and all. You know, they that's what they good for. I just want them to stick to that right there.
Into opportunity.
Stick to the wings, stick to the music, stick to the style.
It wasn't just another game. It
Stick
was
to what you good at.
The stakes weren't postseason implications. The Panthers were well outside the playoff bubble. The stakes of Bryce Young's future, both in Carolina and potentially in the NFL.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Whatever your name is, bro, you everywhere. You know what I mean, bro? You a Celtics fan. This nigga right here, a Panthers fan. Bro, you a Bulldogs fan. Dang, nigga, where you from, bro? Leave you everywhere, boy. You know what I'm saying? Dang, nigga, where you from, bro?
By the end of the season, those who had prematurely labeled Bryce Young a bust were backtracking.
I think if there's something that we've learned, it is that giving up on a quarterback too soon is a big mistake. Look at Bryce Young. Look at the finish that the Panthers had. The Panthers had a very good second half of the season. They had great losses to go along with some nice wins, and Bryce Young now looks like he's going to be the player they hoped he was going to be.
Now, as the Panthers entered the 2025 offseason, there is a new sense of direction. Bryce Young is the franchise quarterback. There's no more debates, no more whispers about bust potential. That's over. What remains is the exciting prospect of what this team can become with the right pieces around him. The front office the exciting
Just happy that my boy getting the team to build around
him with the right pieces around him. The front office will be active and already have been. Upgrading the offensive line remains a priority, as is adding another top-tier weapon on the outside. But unlike years past, Carolina doesn't have to look for the
out to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bryce Young, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just glad that Panthers using my boy right. You know what I mean, honestly, I'm proud. And I'm gonna keep it real, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta quit. How are you from Bama and you go for the Bulldogs? It's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? I just don't understand that, nigga. How are you from Alabama and you go for Georgia Bull? That right there is funny. You know what I mean? That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's just hilarious to me. You know what I mean? That's